it's Robin with Rainbow Gardens, and today we are talking about composting. Despite what you might think, composting does not have to be complicated. You can worry about exact measurements and temperatures and make it as complicated as you want, but that's not quite our style. We want you to know that if you want to start composting today, you can. But before getting started, let's take a look at why you should compost. By composting, you can improve soil structure, make essential nutrients readily available to your plants, save on water and fertilizer usage, reduce waste going into the landfills, and balance the pH levels of your soil naturally. There are many ways to compost. You can just create a heap or a pile somewhere in the landscape, use a wire bin or trash can, buy a compost tumbler, try vermicomposting, or build a do-it-yourself compost bin out of recycled pallets. We'll be using the last option because we want to show off the compost bin that we recently made with the owners of Two Hoves Gardening, Becca and Christy. You need a collection of brown and green materials to compost. Brown materials are carbon-rich elements like dry leaves, straw, cardboard, wood chips, old mulch, and shredded paper. Green materials are nitrogen-rich elements like grass clippings, vegetable and fruit scraps, coffee grounds, and green manures and animal manure. It's important to avoid adding certain items to your compost, such as meat, dairy, and oily foods, as these can attract unwanted pests, and they also slow down the composting process. Diseased plants, weed seeds, and pet feces are also no-nos for the compost pile. Start by laying your compost pile alternating between green and brown materials to create a good balance. You can start to learn when your compost needs more of a certain element. If your compost starts to get a little too stinky or too wet, you'll need to add some more browns to it. If your compost isn't doing much and it's taking forever, you may need to add a little bit more green to it. We're also layering in an optional bag of organic compost to add some extra microorganisms and really kick things off. After you've created your layers, add a little bit of water to your pile, and we mean a little. Your compost should be moist but not waterlogged, like the consistency of a damp sponge. Let your new pile sit for about a week and then begin to turn it regularly to aerate the mixture and to speed up the decomposition process. Turning is simply lifting the contents of the bottom of the pile and flipping it to the top. One extra thing to note, if you see bugs in your compost pile, that's okay. Compost contains both microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, and macroorganisms like worms and insects. They are all supposed to be in there, and they all contribute to the process of making compost. The time it takes to be able to use your compost will depend on several factors, such as how often you're adding the material, the size of the material, the ratio of the materials, how often you turn it, the amount of water that you're adding to it, and the temperature. All of these factors can be played with to speed up or slow down the process. Compost could be ready in a couple of months, or it could take a year. Your compost will be ready when you can't recognize any ingredients in the pile and you have a rich-looking soil product that is loose and crumbly. So you see, starting a compost pile does not have to be an intimidating process. By following these simple steps, you'll be on your way to creating a nutrient-rich product, all while contributing to a more sustainable lifestyle. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget, as always, to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.